We won Monday Night Football. Woo! Here we go, Steelers. Here we go. I'm so proud of them. And I don't know what's happening with my throat. So just like, excuse me while I work myself through this because I have been trying everything I can to like get my throat to figure itself out. So I am not going to make this long video because I don't know if my throat is going to last, but the Steelers won. We did what we were supposed to do. I need to show up. I need to brag about them. I need to tell all the things about them because I'm actually proud. I'm proud of them for showing up. I'm proud of them for being consistent. I'm proud of us that we look like a team. We have special teams doing their thing. We have our offense doing their thing, except for we got to the red zone 4 times and only scored a field goal, but that's okay. We are doing our thing. Obviously, our defense is our defense. Like, I'm just so excited that heading into this bye week, all 3 of my teams won this week. All 3 of my teams are off this week. So I will have an entire weekend where I can relax, breathe, and just sit in the background and watch all of these other fans worry about their teams. So I'm really excited about that. But let me just get into this video. The Giants were who I thought they were. I thought that their defense was going to show up. They did. I thought that we were going to have some issues getting into the end zone. We did. I thought everything that this game turned out to be was everything I thought this game was going to be because I know what's going on. But it was nice to see us adjust. It was nice to see us move the ball down the field. It was nice to see us finally play a game where I was like, okay, I understand what we're doing here. I understand the direction we're going in. I understand what we're doing. We're currently 6-2. Preseason, my pick for this was we were going to be 5-1. If I think about it, I'll put that video here where I put in my season prediction. I thought we were going to beat the Dallas Cowboys, to be quite frank. We should have beat the Dallas Cowboys, but you know, things happen. It is what it is. We're 6-2. We're heading into the bye week. We got the win. We get to rest. We have a lot of guys coming back on defense and I'm super excited to see come back. And I'm just excited to see how this team starts progressing as the season moves forward. The funny thing about this game is I felt like I was watching Texas play Vandy because I feel like the Giants are like Vandy. They're like scrappy. They don't do anything great, but they don't do anything exceptionally well, in my opinion, but I knew that defense was going to be hungry. I knew they were going to make plays. And listen, this is the NFL. I always say, anytime you have grown men on the field that are playing to feed their families and playing to keep their roles and to keep their jobs, I expect them to show up. So the Giants gave us every single thing I thought they would. So kudos to the Giants. Shout out to TJ Watt. Listen, he's amazing. I always forget to give him props because I'm so used to him being amazing. And that's not fair for him. So shout out to TJ Watt. He's amazing. He's brilliant. He's masterful. He's all of the things. Good old Beanie Bishop. Like that guy, all he's doing this year is catching interceptions. So good for him. Shout out to all those guys. Let me just go ahead and get to the things that I loved. The things that I loved, we were 6 for 13 on 3rd down. That is masterful. We were 6 for 13 on 3rd down. I love that. The other thing I love, the first 2 drives looked phenomenal. We were handing off the ball. We were running the ball up the middle. We were completing passes. Like that offense that I saw in the first 2 drives, I need that offense always. I don't even want to talk about the fact that we couldn't get the ball in the end zone, but I'm just going to leave that where it's at. I also hope that while all this is happening, Justin Fields is on the sideline and watching and learning from Wilson. If Justin Fields is on the sideline learning from Wilson, if that's happening, all of this is going exactly according to plan. We got a holding call. We actually got 2 holding calls. TJ Watt got one of those, and I think Alex Highsmith got one of those. We got 2 holding calls in one game. This is masterful. Like, I cannot believe this is happening. Although TJ Watt was getting choked, spun around, and all the things the whole game, it's okay. We got 2 holding calls. We finally were like, I'm starting to think like maybe they just want to see like how we can do if we don't get a holding call. I'm actually making that up. That sounds really dumb, but I don't know. We got a holding call. That makes me really excited. And our special teams was special. Our special teams has been special all year. I keep bragging about them. I'm telling you, they've been special all year. Blocked field goals, blocked punts, returning kickoffs, pinning the teams inside the tent. Like, our special teams has been special. Kudos to those guys. And obviously Chris Boswell is the best player on the team, not named TJ Watt. So like, shout out to special teams. Shout out to special teams being special. It's so fun to watch. I was so excited. I'm like, we got a touchdown that didn't have to come from our offense. I think anytime the Steelers have gotten a touchdown that doesn't come from their offense, I would love to know what our like win percentage is when that happens, because it's just masterful. Before I get to the next section, I just want to shout out Russell Wilson. Kudos to that man showing up. I don't know what people's problem problem is with him. Shout out to him for showing up, doing what he needs to do. George Pickens, shout out to you. Steelers media was all over you. He took care of business. Shout out to Najee Harris. Like, shout out to that offensive line, even though sometimes they piss me off. Like, at least they're holding firm and at least they're gradually getting better, although they make me nervous and anxious, but that's that. I always said shout out to TJ Watt and shout out to that whole special teams. Shout out to the whole defense. You know what? Shout out to the whole team. Shout out to all 53 and all the guys on the practice squad and all the guys and all the coaches. Just shout out to everybody. I am proud to head into this bye week. I think we're doing exactly what we need to do. The schedule is about to get a little harder. The schedule is about to get tough. It's about to get grueling, but that's okay. I feel like we're ready. I feel like we get to take this break. We get to take a deep breath, and I feel like we're ready to kind of go through the gauntlet. The things I don't understand, but whatever. The first thing is, I think the Giants got screwed out of a couple of calls, and I'll just leave it where there's at because I think the refs suck. The refs are absolutely terrible, and I think the Giants got screwed out of a couple of things today. But, you know, it is what it is. There's nothing I can say about that. The other thing I don't understand, well, whatever, again, the refs suck, is the roughing the passer. The quarterback didn't even end up on the ground. The quarterback didn't get hit on the head, but somehow it was roughing the passer. Like, these calls are phantom. These calls are so phantom. And then I saw in the game, a lot of the calls, the refs were like getting told what to do and they were doing it on the field, but yet we still have to go review. Why are we doing all these things? Why is this happening? Mike Tomlin challenges something. The officials start to challenge it only to hear the rules in their ear that they can't challenge. So we get charged with a timeout. The refs suck. I already made a video about this, but I will not stop talking about how bad the refs suck. So I will just move on to the next section. Things I hated. It should be no surprise the things I hated. In the red zone, we were 0-4. This Steelers offense is starting to look like the Texas Longhorn offense, and not in a good way. I remember at the beginning of the year, I was like, why can't all offenses look like the Texas Longhorn offense? I don't want that anymore. Like, I need the Steelers not to look like the Texas offense anymore. We were 0-4 in the red zone. Yes, we scored points because we scored touchdowns that we weren't in the red zone, but we were 0-4 in the red zone scoring touchdowns. We had to settle for 4 field goals. Shout out to Boswell. So I hated that. The other thing I hated should come as no surprise is Broderick Jones holding. Broderick Jones, you know what? I'm just going to take a deep breath and I'm just going to leave it alone. But Broderick Jones, it's hit or miss. It's great. It's not. It's whatever. Thanks, Broderick Jones. Just thanks. And who knew that getting 2 times of the same foot down is not a touchdown? You have to get 1 of each foot, but you can get a hip or an elbow or all these different things. I'm telling you, nobody knows the rules. Nobody knows the rules. I said that and everyone probably thought I was crazy, but no one actually knows the rules. It's actually a fact. The other thing I hated was our offensive line and our tight ends holding. I don't understand what's happening. I don't understand what's happening here. I need them to figure out. The other thing I hated is, where was Russell Wilson going when he was running? Like, where did he think he was going to go? First of all, where was he going? A. B. Why did he slide forward? I don't understand that. And C, like, what a terrible, terrible turnover to happen at that time. Like, thank God we have a good defense, but that was a terrible turnover that could have went bad. So those are all the things I hated. We won the game. I could go on and on about a couple of other things that I hated, but why not? We won. We're heading into a bye week when we won. So I'll take that. The other random thing I'll say is the Steelers defense, as always, is a bend don't break. We might give up big plays. We might do some bonehead things. We might do some things here and there. But at the end of the day, when it's time to lock in and when it's time to get focused, this defense has shown me that they can lock in and get focused. That is who we are. That is who we've always been. I always take some time just to make sure that that's who we're going to be this year. And I think the difference between us this year is we can actually score points on offense. Well, it's kind of tricky because can we score points? Well, yeah, but a lot of times they're field goals. Like, we got to work on this red zone offense. We really have to work on this red zone offense. I just really hope we work on this red zone offense. The other thing I'll say here, and this frustrates me, and you've heard me say this before, so I won't harp on it. Why do these coaches fall in love with their playbooks? First half, Steelers run the ball up the middle, run, right? And then we get into the second half and the Steelers are like, well, let's see if we can throw it. Let's see if these pass plays are now open. Let's see, run the ball. They've shown you they can't stop it. Run the ball. And the defensive line hunting the quarterback is the bread and butter of the Giants defense. Why are we allowing them to do that? Run the ball. I don't understand these coaches. I don't get it. I don't get it. For all of you that follow me on Twitter, I'm sorry that you have to deal with me complaining during these games, but sometimes these coaches do the dumbest shit and it frustrates me. So coaches, stop doing this stuff. Stop. Please stop falling in love with your playbooks. Your playbooks aren't even that great anyway. But anyways, I'll let that go. So the Steelers are headed into the bye week. They're 6-2. I will be excited for that. I will cheer for that. I'm happy for them. It's hard to win in the NFL. There's a lot of bad teams in the NFL that wish that they were 6-2. So I will take it. I will love on it. I will appreciate it. I appreciate Wilson. I appreciate Fields. I appreciate this team. I do still think we need to go get a wide receiver. Like maybe we can offer the Jets 7th round pick for Devontae Adams. I'm just being petty. Anyways, I'll end this video here. I'm going to rant on the other side of this. As always, here we go.
The 3 things I'm keeping an eye on that should come as no surprises anybody. Should come as the 3 things I'm going to keep an eye on. I always do. So 3 things, the 2 things, the 1 thing. The 3 things I'm going to keep my eye out on is simple to me. Obviously, this offensive line, like what is this offensive line going to do? Are we going to continue to get better? Are we going to continue to show growth? I would love to see that. The second thing I'm going to pay attention to is this red zone offense. The red zone offense was really good with Justin Fields. Justin Fields made our red zone offense great. And so I really hope that we work on our red zone offense for the next 2 weeks, or we do something, because as of right now, our red zone offense is not very good, and I hope it gets better, please and thank you. The other third thing I'm going to be focused on is our rushing defense. Now, I know that the Steelers are going to get a lot of people back during the bye week. I know for a fact that some of the guys that usually are there to help us weren't there, and they're hurt and the stuff like that. I understand that. I get it. However, I'm just going to start paying attention to this rush defense, because there's something that I think I'm picking up on that it could just be we needed the bye week. It could just be that we didn't think the Giants were very good. I don't know, but something about this rush, or something about this run defense. I don't know. I'm paying attention. I could be overreacting. This could be one of those things where I'm just overreacting, and I'll leave it at that. But we're on a bye week. It's all good. And yeah, it's pretty good. I can't complain. But do I think we're going to win a Super Bowl? Like, as of right now, no. Do I think we can make the playoffs and we're still a playoff team? Yes. And I'll leave it at that. That's as far as I'm going to take this right now. But I'll end this video here, and I will stop ranting. And my teams are all officially on a bye week. Here we go.